What is up, everybody? This video is going to be a lot more serious than a lot of the other videos I've been talking about. And I have addressed this one other time when I addressed the issue that kind of initiated what I'm about to talk about. And I know you know exactly what I'm about to talk about. But I figured instead of having, Twitter fingers or Facebook fingers or whatever, I might as well get my point out and make it clear and discuss it, because I have been getting messages about this. I've seen it all over social media. There have been some comments that have been made that I was strongly against, but instead of arguing with people, I'm just going to give my side of things and my viewpoints. And if you guys agree with me, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. So the incident, the George Floyd incident, has sparked up a huge backlash nationwide in pretty much every state. It's insane. But it's something that I can say that I could see happening. I saw this happening, like, eventually, because it's like, if you think about it, everybody brings up the Colin Kaepernick thing, and I'm going to emphasize that Colin Kaepernick, football player, was peacefully protesting 4 years ago, and the first thing everybody did was, "Oh my God, why aren't you standing up during the national anthem? Why aren't you rendering the proper respect? Da da da! Like, show some respect for your country." I've been around people who have told me, if you support his cause, you don't respect the country. If you don't, if you ride with anything that he says, if you protest the way that he's protesting, then you don't respect this country. And I'm like, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Because then I asked them, what do you do when there is something important that you're trying to make people aware of? And all of the recommendations they gave were pretty much, oh, vote. Make sure you're voting. And that happened. People voted, and guess what happened? We were stuck with two interesting options. Interesting options. And even voting didn't really work. Voting, the thing is, people don't understand. The people who are in power when you vote, right, don't have all the power that you think they have. It's a collective of people. So it's much deeper than that, and they have a lot of other, they have issues that they sort through and they comb through and see which ones are more pressing and which ones aren't. And this one was an issue that was put on the back burner because I remember at the same time, like around the time that Colin Kaepernick started the kneeling down and stuff, shortly before that, I'd say if maybe a couple years before even that, the Black Lives Matter movement was created. Now, I heard several things about this. A lot of people, I asked around. I wanted to see people's thoughts and feelings on this topic, and people I knew were saying that this group was a terrorist group. They said that it was harmful. The group's motives were horrible, and I thought to myself, the KKK is literally a group that prides themselves in gentrification, like in trying to, not gentrification, that's the wrong word. They pride themselves in genocide. Like, they want to create one type of person on the entire planet, which is like that right. It's disgusting. And honestly, like, if we're being real, like, that would be so weird. Like, everybody looks the exact same. What? That would be really weird. So that group was created to eliminate other groups of people that did not look like and possess the same values as them. So the Black Lives Matter group movement, right? All it's saying, and it's super simple, and I don't know why grown men and women don't understand this. It doesn't mean that your life doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that the person next to you doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that yours matters more than the other person. It's that a lot of black people have not been treated properly, appropriate, like not even a basic human rights level at all. And so the point of the movement is to say, hey, we matter as well. Not we matter more, not you matter less. We matter as well. That's all that means. Just to clear it up for people who want to, oh, well, what about the? So there's a TikTok being shared around the internet right now that touched on something that I've been saying for years. And I'm like, finally, people get it. When the Black Lives Matter movement came out, right? People were like, oh my God, all lives matter. All lives matter. It's like if You and your best friend are walking to a grocery store and your best friend gets shot. Somebody drives by and shoots your best friend. And I'm like, oh my God, my friend needs help. And somebody across the street's like, everybody needs help. And then continues walking away. Well, your friend's bleeding out. Your friend is bleeding out on them in the middle of the street. And I know people like to be like, very particular. Oh my gosh, like that's different. That's different. No, it's the exact same. If anything, this is a lighter example of what's actually going on, So it's crazy because there's been a lot of intensity on both sides now, and it seems like the media is trying to spin this into a race war, and it's crazy. But what I can say is at least the message, right? The message has been is out there. The message is out there that there's obviously some systematic injustice going on, and it has to stop, because it's scary when you think that people in power that can have a bad day and just ruin your life. They can end your life if they are having a bad day. They can ruin your life if they're having a bad day. They can do so much to you if they're having a bad day. And that's all because they have power that is basically entrusted by the people. And it sucks when you see things like the George Floyd incident, and it's horrific to see that is exactly what we have to look forward to in the future, especially with a department, not even just a department, but an agency that can just cover the entire thing up if they want to. Fortunately, people were there to see everything, so there was no cover up. Because I promise you, if no one was there, this probably would have been buried, and then George Floyd would have probably been blamed for doing something that he didn't do. And of course, you'd have a lot of people who side with every single thing that the police say. They're like, yeah, well, he shouldn't have been da 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 da. And it's disgusting. Now, the riots. I know a lot of people are like behind their keyboards ready for me to talk about the riots. I don't agree with the riots. I do not agree with it, but I understand it. I say it all the time because, like I said, we didn't start here. What you're seeing right now did not start at rioting. It started with peaceful protests. It started with, hey, this is a problem. We need to address it. And then people were like, yeah, okay, whatever. All right. Just stay over there and don't be in my face with that. And then people were, doing their own thing. And more people were getting killed. And predominantly black people were being killed by police. And for no reason. For no reason. And then peaceful protesting started. Hey, this is a problem. We're going to walk down the street. We're going to hold these signs. We're going to let you know that this is a problem. Can you please fix it? Media's like, okay. Not controversial enough. Let's move away. Everybody's like, okay, cool. They're there, but it's no big deal. They shut them down. They berated them. Taunted, teased. Wasn't really a big deal. And now we have riots. And everybody is responding. Everybody. You have people saying, oh, I would fight back. Oh, I can't believe this. Oh, I understand. So, speaking from a fundamental perspective, I'll put it this way. If you're working for a company and you work for a company for like 2 months without pay, there's levels to this, right? You miss your first paycheck and you're like, hey, what's happening? Where's my paycheck? Where's my paycheck? Oh, we'll get to it. We're running a little bit behind. We'll get it to you next week. You're like, okay, cool, fine. So that was you verbally, lowest level, talking to your supervision. Hey, you didn't get paid. What's going on? Cool. Next week rolls around. Your rent's due, bills are due. Hey, what about that pay that you said would be fixed by this week? Oh, man, we forgot. Next week. Hey, man, I really need it for my rent. man. I really need it for my rent. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So this is week 2. And this is also your second time addressing that you're not getting paid. Week 3, you're not getting paid. You don't pay your rent. Landlord's turning up, and your apartment has a zero tolerance policy on missing payments. But let's say 30 days of missing payments. Let's speed this up. Basically, you don't get paid for 2 months. And you've tried to talk to your supervisor. You tried talking to the finance department. No one's giving you any answers. And then you burn the place down. And everybody is freaking out. Everybody's reacting. You never get paid. But when people ask you why you did it and you said, hey, well, I'm working for free. That's an extreme example. I don't condone doing any of this. But I'm saying, these are not loose connected incidences. I hope you understand where I'm going with this. Basically, the powers of escalation, right? So you start from the lowest level first, and when your voice isn't heard, you escalate. When your voice isn't heard, you escalate. When your voice isn't heard, you escalate. Notice how the more peaceful the protests were, it was more likely people would ignore that. They would ignore the message behind the peaceful protests. They would even go as far as to switch the narrative. When Colin Kaepernick kneeled during the national anthem, you know what they told him? They said that he was against the military. He was against the country. He wasn't a real American. He wasn't patriotic. I had people that I knew that that were friends of mine, right? That had similar perspectives. They said that, oh, he's un-American. Oh, he's da-da-da. And I'm like, well, he's doing it peacefully. No one's getting hurt. He's minding his own business, and he's protesting because that's a problem. And now look at where we are at. We are in 2020, and riots have broken out like literally everywhere. Nationwide. Worldwide, actually. To some degree, but mainly nationwide. I don't agree with the riots at all, because what's happening is a lot of smaller businesses are being burned down. A lot of people who have built themselves up are getting torn down. And it's kind of ironic in a way. I see it, like I said, I understand, but I don't agree with it. There has to be a better way to express how we're feeling the injustice, But like I said, this is probably the best way people could think of, because they've tried the peaceful route. They've tried voting. They've tried literally every avenue. People have been lobbing at them, and now everybody's uncomfortable. Everybody's uncomfortable. No one likes to be uncomfortable. So this issue is literally brought to the forefront of everybody's door. You can't ignore it anymore. People can no longer go like, oh, well, I'm not black, so it doesn't affect me. And then, oh, I'm Asian, so it doesn't affect me. Oh, I'm da-da-da, so it doesn't affect me. Everybody's affected now. Everybody is, okay, why are so many people turning up? Why is this on my feed? Why? I can't avoid the topic. It's everywhere. And it should be, because now it's a serious issue. What everyone witnessed online was beyond disgusting. And like I said, I don't condone any of the violence at all. In fact, I think it's probably the fastest way to get yourself put in a very similar situation. And I honestly don't have, it's sad to say, but I don't have any other solutions that I can give to make the situation to better. I just can say I don't agree with the rioting and stuff, but I understand it. The people who say they don't understand it, they're like, that their defense, a lot of people's defense is really, it's the same thing. It's like, wow, well, I own like 4 cars and 5 ducks and three houses and da-da-da, and if they burn my stuff down, I'm gonna da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, I understand you're gonna be upset, and you have every right to file a police report and let the authorities handle it and stuff, or whatever. But it's just crazy. It's really crazy, man, because now people are talking about killing other people because their property got damaged, and it's been this whole property versus a life of a person kind of thing, and life will always matter more. But it doesn't condone people to go around burning random stores down and stuff. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I hope, I said in my last video that where I talked about this, I really hope we can get it together, come together and find a strategic solution that targets the system that governs all of us, so that we can live in a functional society that isn't as corrupt. I mean, asking for a corruptionless society is damn near impossible, but like less corrupt, you know? Not as blatant. Not as blatant. I mean, this cop had a camera in his face and he looked at the camera and continued doing what he was doing. Like, it makes no sense to me. But like I said, I don't support the rioting. I do understand it, but I don't support it. And I also don't support people that are making it seem like the riots are out of the random blue, that these are not anywhere tied to what happened. Yes, people are definitely taking advantage of this. People who do not give three damns about George Floyd's death are going out here and looting and stealing, and that's a problem. It is a huge problem. But we would not have even gotten to this point if the message was heard at a lower level. That's all I'm saying. This video is a lot longer than I expected, but hopefully somebody gets the message. I know this is all over the place. This video is not meant to offend anyone. I just hope that we can all we can be you. I can't talk. I hope that we can be united. All of you guys matter. We all matter. All of us matter. Black, white, yellow, purple, green, everybody. Like I said before, the reason why we're saying Black Lives Matter is because there's been so much injustice to that particular group of people. And I forgot to address the TikTok. The TikTok, before I end this video, was literally, you know, a lady was complaining that her house was on fire, and you know, she needed help because she was in trouble. She's like, everybody, and then the other lady's like, everybody's in trouble. Everybody's house matters. Everybody's house matters. So why should we help yours out? So, well, mine's burning. I need help now. Like, I need help immediately. Everybody's house matters. It's literally something to try to saturate an issue, and it sucks. It's like if you say I broke my arm, and I'm like, we all have health problems. Get over it. Makes no sense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I know this was all over the place. It's a rant. It was definitely not, you know, this is kind of like a spur of the moment thing. Let me know what you guys think. But you guys know how I feel about everything, and I care about you guys so much. I'm glad we're in our own little niche. So I try my best to spread as much positivity and, you know, whatever as possible. I'll try to do my part. Let's all try to do ours and just help people who need help. That's all I have to say. Take care. Peace.